Lights, camera, action. Well, it'll be what it'll be. The point was just to throw this together, so I'm not expecting it to look fantastic. And yes, I am currently sitting at a recording space surrounded by cameras as it is, and chose to set up phones for this because it was just going to be easier. So that's what we're doing. And I want to start looking through magic cards. Just boxes and boxes of magic cards that I have here, and begin sorting them. But not this one, because this one is all land, which you can't. Doesn't matter. It's all land. I'm not sorting that one. I'll pick a different one. What about this one? That is more land. What about a different one? I know I have stuff not land in here somewhere. That's all land. These are sealed land. I grabbed all 4 boxes thinking, well, I don't think I'm going to get through all of one, but I certainly would like to have the ability to look through some of the others. This one I know for sure is not land. This one is not. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's been a bit since I've done one of these. The last time I did it, I was getting ready to sit down and record for the first time, which was interesting because I tested everything on camera. I was getting ready to run through all of the tests that I needed to do. I did most of them, and everything worked. And then I went and I got ready. I dressed up, and I came and I sat back down, and I put on the headphones, and it was just unusable audio. The mixer died in between testing it and getting ready to record. And it is just making terrible noise. Now, to be fair, it's done that in the past. It's not the best mixer or anything, and it certainly has done that before where it has just made an awful noise. I think it's the FX that are built into it, but I was able to just turn that down and off so that it wouldn't come through. And it doesn't do that anymore. Now it just comes through no matter what knobs I turn or anything. I don't know how to fix that, so that's essentially dead to me. Unfortunately, I might be able to take it apart. I'm certainly not going to throw it away. I never throw anything away, but I might be able to fix it. And in the meantime, we're just down to using my single source of the recorder instead of having it backed up in 2 different places, which is my goal. My goal is to have a backup. Well, like the way that I'm recording, I actually fixed something just the other day. Everything, all of the audio signals from various microphones, which I have a shotgun mic up here, I wear a lav, and I talk into the XLR mic. I put all of those running through into a multi-track recorder so I can pick and choose, which is the point. That's why I have a backup system for that. If for some reason one of them dies, like the lav, battery dies during the middle of it, that's okay, I've got others. If for some reason I get too far away or I get too close to the XLR microphone that's usually right here, then I am breathing into it. Not ideal. And that's why I would have something like the shotgun mic with a lav to switch to. It gives me options. As it turns out, running all 3 of them at the same time, not ideal, because there's a slight echo delay for the way that each one processes, especially the wireless. The wireless usually takes another second to get it as opposed to just going straight down a cable, but depending on the cable length, it's a whole thing. I'm not an audio engineer. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along and trying to figure out as best I can. So having all 3 of them baked in is not ideal, but I don't have another way to just take one output and send it out. If I could do that, I would just take my best microphone and put that through from my input, my microphone. I would send that into my recorder, so I have the track saved, and then output just that one into where I record all the video, because that is a separate process from the audio. I can't do that, which means that it's all baked in. And what I thought I did, and I know I did it, so I'm going to blame black magic on that one, which is, I swear I went into the settings and I told my switcher is also the ability to record to SSDs through another device. It's a whole thing. I swear I went in and I changed the settings to say record all the audio separately, which means that I would have recorded it from an input source, and then actual audio separate. If that's the case, that's perfect, because then I can control my game audio for the games that I was playing separately from the mic audio. But instead, it was all mixed together. And I recorded 13 episodes of the Pokemon thing that I did. Not ideal, because then the game sound is way too low, because if I turn it up, then you have really bad audio from all the microphones. Anyway, I've hopefully solved that, and I went in and made sure to say it again. I think what happened is I went in and I changed it, and then I didn't save those settings as the default for when the device boots back up, because I have to turn it off, otherwise it would just sit there on. There's no on-off switch, so you're plugging it in and out. But anyway, maybe that one's on me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not that big a deal. You don't really need the audio for Pokemon. You do need the audio for some of the other games that I plan on playing, so I'm glad I hopefully have solved that. And then I did the other thing that I was doing, the way that I was getting to hear all of that and monitor my audio was by running, an optical cable out the back of my TV and into a mix amp, which is what I have from the Astro headsets. I got a pair of those. I mean, one of them is mine, one of them is Bonnie's, and she's using it. But for me, I now use that because I have a wireless headset, and that's all wired, but that works when you run, optical out the back of a TV. You get all the sound that's coming out the TV. So I've halfway fixed that, because what the problem was is that I have to plug my Switch, my Nintendo Switch, into the Blackmagic switcher, which is not at all confusing. And then that routes back out into the TV as an output, which means it brings along the audio with it. So then all my mics are in there, and that causes a delay. Everything you add into there is going to add a delay. And if you ever try to listen to yourself while you're recording, if there's a delay in it, it makes it basically unusable, because you can't hear yourself instantly like you can when you're just talking out loud. Which is why when you monitor audio mic levels and you're doing it for yourself, you need it to be an instant playback with no kind of delay. And sending it through a recorder, out to a switcher, out to the TV, then back into my headphones creates quite a delay between all of that. It's milliseconds, but it's enough to throw you off. So all I would do is just basically turn down the game sound and not worry about it when I'm playing live. And that way I could just get, mix it where I just get the microphones into my ears. Well, I've solved it slightly in the fact that I can just plug that optical cable instead of out the back of the TV directly into the Xbox. So it'll work for Xbox. It's not going to work for any other console that doesn't have an optical port built right into it. Why did you take that away, Xbox? That was really useful. I don't know if any of the PlayStations had it. Maybe the PS4, maybe. I don't remember ever. I didn't really play a whole lot of it. We do have one, but it's packed up. I haven't even unpacked it. I don't think the 5 has it, and that's the one that I would have played more recently. Anyway, all that to say, I've gotten to it where it's better. I've solved several things. One, I moved the overhead cam tripod off of this table, because I realized after sitting here and recording a whole lot, I moved this table, and that causes shaking, because it shakes the camera, which is much more perceptible to it since it's on this thing and all the way up, and it's a whole thing. That's done. That's taken care of. That's moved off. It should be more stable. I have to work on the focus. I really need another lens. If I had like unlimited money to fix this up, I would get some new cameras, some new recording cameras here. I would replace 2 of them, because 2 of them don't shoot and export in, they don't live preview in 16:9, which means that I have to crop it, which just gives me less to work with. It's not ideal. It works just fine, and I've set it up so that it's just the cameras that I use the least, but still it's not ideal. I'd rather swap those for ones that record and can output in 16:9, so I don't have to do any editing on that end, and then I have more to work with on how much screen real estate there is. I'd do that. I'd upgrade all of my microphones. I think all 3 of them could use an upgrade. I mean, there are better ones, there's better quality, and I will get better results out of it, so I would definitely upgrade that cheap shotgun mic that I have. The XLR's been fine, but there are better, and then those would just move over, and the lav, each one, it would just go down further through the process, right? Like I would upgrade the voiceover microphone, kind of, and then that would go over to my computer for that. I would upgrade the shotgun mic, and then the shotgun mic would move over to my going outside camera. I'd put it on one of those. Anyway, that's very expensive, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But what is going to happen is sorting through magic cards and talking through what else I've been up to. So my plan here is, if you can see, let's see if we can actually set this thing up. I didn't do the best of jobs here. Let's put it here. I just kind of threw it on there with the other phone to see if that'll work. The glare is not great, but it'll do. It's just a little extra bit for me to put, yeah, if I hold it flat. That's not bad. I'm not wearing gloves. It's hard to do card stuff with gloves. So you'll see why I always wear gloves, and the fact that even though I managed to stop biting my nails, I sure do pick at all the skin around them constantly. Personal vlog, personal things. What else has been going on? Well, I am sorting these. I'll just go ahead and explain a little bit here. I'm going to make it as best you can see them, but that's not really the point. I'm just kind of going by symbol, whatever I see here. I actually will look up what the symbols are, but I don't remember at this point in time. And I figure this is as easy as it's going to get to some of these old ones I got. Vintage. I don't actually know what number. I'd like to do more research and look into them, but that requires effort, which means it's for another day. It's for a different video, but you can just look at it. Anyway, really getting back into Magic, collecting the cards. I recorded videos for Capitalism Ho that involved Magic cards, so that was pretty cool. And this is part of what I want to do going forward, making more Magic the Gathering videos as excuses to dig out the cards more and things like that. One of the things I figured I could do would be to start going through all the cards that I have, start sorting them, organizing them. I think I talked about it in those videos, which are probably not out yet by the time I'm recording this. But either way, and anyway, and here we go. Well, that one's different now, isn't it? I think it is. It's that one. Let's see. Really enjoying doing the Magic card stuff again, getting back into it and kind of looking through. And right now, this is just a preliminary sort to just grab. So I'm looking at the symbol, which is what the icon. Each symbol and icon is for a different expansion. So that should, in theory, give me a starting point that I can start going through, and then I will organize them into binders based off of when I get enough from certain sets, because some of these are going to be random. I will especially just start with the ones that I knew I was buying. Um, like when I really went in and bought sets. I have quite a lot of these. I kind of recognize that symbol, but I'm not 100% sure. I do have the Wikipedia pulled up so that I could look through some of them. Let's start with this one here. This is an interesting. I'm sure you can see it. Kind of like, almost like a hexagon with a piece missing out of it. What is that one? Let's find out. Well, I just passed the hammer and the flask. Those were from Urza's block back in 1999. Urza's Legacy and Urza's Destiny. I already put those out. Those are the vintage ones. I started getting those when I started buying Magic the Gathering in bulk, which I have done again. Okay, so this is for Scars of Mirrodin, which came out in 2010. I must have bought a good amount of packs of them at that point. Yeah, yeah, because that was after Zendikar, and I do remember being around for Zendikar, so that's pretty cool. We got a good amount of those. And then the next one in 2011, right after that, was. What does that mean? I wish I could see the development code name. Okay, never mind. I said the word camera next to it, and my eyes perked up. You know those perky eyes? Anyway. Well, this one doesn't have anything at all. Huh, how do I sort you guys? That's going to be interesting. Well, they've got a white border. I think the white border means something. So what else have I been up to? Well, let's see. I watched a movie yesterday. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the new one that came out over the summer. I believe it's supposed to be the last Indiana Jones movie, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. Oh, I did. You are silver, but you go there now. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I enjoy it. I'm easy to please with that kind of stuff. I did not hate the last one the way a lot of people did, and this is an artifact, but it's green, so I see. Yeah, I was happy with even the fourth one, but the fifth one was good. I liked the fifth one. I thought it was fun. Um, had a good time watching it. I was very pleased with it. That was not the movie I was wanting to watch, but I looked and found out that Oppenheimer has not yet come to digital, so still waiting for that one because I'm not going to a movie theater, but more than happy to watch them at home when they are available. There's another white border. But I saw Indiana Jones and went, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I watched that movie. That was fantastic. Very very pleased with that. I think that's the only movie I've watched recently. I've been watching TV shows as well, obviously. So working my way through Peaky Blinders. I've watched some of that before, but not all of it. It's been a bit. 13 since I watched some of that. I think I got to the next to last season, and that's what was done airing at the time, and I just haven't touched it since. But now everything is done, so I'm watching through that. Fantastic as I remember it. Really enjoy it. I think I'm 3 seasons into that. I'm also working through. I've talked about before watching all of Star Wars. I'm finally towards the end of it. I can see the finish line. I'm back on Mandalorian, which is something that has more recently come out, but I'm going through them in timeline order. So I'll have Mandalorian, I'll have all the Disney Star Wars shows that are currently coming out. Ahsoka's currently coming out. We're not going to talk about that for spoiler reasons because it's way too new. Man, is that a good show. We're really enjoying that. I think I have a forked one like that. Um, do, 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 then I will have after the shows. It moves on to the other movies, the last trilogy. I'll get through that, and then I think there's just one more that doesn't really take place. I think it's all over the place. Is that it? Is Visions the one that's? I think I still have Visions to watch as far as an animated show, and that should be it. I was going to watch all of the like. Well, I kind of started, and I might finish that up. I wasn't really planning to watch all of the like Lego Star Wars and the stuff for the really young kids, but I mean, I'm almost out of Star Wars, so I might as well. We'll see. Now you're different, aren't you? I think you are. Grab another stack. Making good progress here. I think my plan is just to sort them into their different sets and then put them back in the box, but organized by set. I did have them all organized by color at one point. That's far easier to do, but I think I'd like to go by set, and then it'll be set order. I've kind of talked about how I think I want to just be putting them into binders, and then all of the duplicates will go into cardboard boxes that you can't see. It's off of camera for both of them, and I don't think I'm holding them well enough for you to really be able to see, so I apologize. This wasn't exactly the most planned out thing for me to do, but like I said, it was certainly a lot easier. It's currently Monday the 4th. Oh, that's right. This is pre Starfield. Starfield comes out tomorrow, and I am very excited about it. Yeah, that's what's about to. I've been playing through for games. I was playing through Horizon. Uh, what was the second one called? Thankfully, I have the internet. Horizon Forbidden West. I played through the first one last year. I think I don't remember where are my notes. I've been tracking myself. and those things. So let's see here. If I go to games and I scroll down to the PS5 section, PlayStation, I started it, okay, yeah, a year ago, almost. I started it in August, the middle of August, finished it towards the end of September last year. Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one. I started it years before and played a tiny bit of it, and then never went back to it. And then I finally, since I'm kind of tracking this stuff more, that gives me the motivation, especially if I'm going to do something with it, um, which I'm just tracking it for my own, but it helps me move from one thing to the next. I've talked about that before. It's helping me keep track of what I'm working on and what I want to make progress on, and it's nice. So that was the first one. Then I moved into the second one. I started it the day I finished the other one, so the end of September a year ago, and finished it in November a year ago, and then worked on extra stuff. I was running around doing a lot of the like quests and things and stuff that wasn't part of the main thing up until Pokemon came out. Now, at the beginning of this month, nope, it's now September that I'm recording this. At the beginning of August this year, 2023, I started playing the Burning Shores DLC. And I just wrapped that up the other day, within the last few days. That was a fun one. I really enjoyed that. I really like that. The gameplay, I enjoy the story. It's really nice. So, having quite a fun time with that. I just wrapped that up. I'm currently playing Stardew Valley on the handheld Ally. ROG Ally. Where is 13? Is that 13 up top? No, I can't read it from there. 13. There's 13. Well, now, they released it twice. They do that. I know that's a thing. Anyway, kite sail. Stardew Valley occasionally. It's not been quite as much because I've been trying to read more, and that's the time when I was like going to bed and laying in bed and playing games, but now I'm trying to read, so I've been playing that one a little less there, but I still am playing through the Legend of Zelda games, currently on Majora's Mask. When I work out, I use the handheld when I'm working out, riding the exercise bike, as I have done in the past, and that's how I played through all the Pokemon games, as we have talked about. Um, Playing that, and then also playing Dark Souls Remastered. A couple of years ago, went through and played all of the 100% played Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. And the only reason I held off, well, not the only reason, I'll probably talk about it. I think that could be a video, which actually is an interesting mental position that I put myself in, because I start thinking of something and want to talk about it and then go, well, now hold on. I have to decide if it's something that I think could be interesting and be researched and talked about at length, then it could be a video. And then I should research and actually set it aside and do a video on it. But if it's something that's more casual, then I could just do it here in a personal vlog. So I will, I think. I think Dark Souls means enough to me. Bunch of Rod of Ruins here. And you're also a 14. I think it'll be interesting enough, and it definitely is a game that I enjoy, although I did not start out enjoying it. But I'm currently making my way through, following a guide, but that way I can do 100% for the original Dark Souls, the remaster, but it's the same thing. They just upgraded it to the newest consoles. And the reason I held off and we didn't start that way, we almost did. I say we started this April of 2020 when I went on furlough, and I was not working. And so was the person that I did it with, my friend. A pair of them. We started out going through one and then quickly went, this is not worth it, because I have made several attempts over the years to play through the original Dark Souls. Again, I don't want to go too far into it, and yet I keep talking about it. Anyway, we skipped it and went on to 2 and 3. We skipped it because the matchmaking, the ability to connect with each other, was, hold it in front of the camera, that's the whole point, was annoying and bad. on the original one that we were playing. We were playing the Xbox 360 version, and it was very, very difficult to connect. And we went, this isn't going to be worth it. Let's just get the remaster. And the remaster was full price. I was like, well, I don't have any money right now because I'm currently not working, as no one is at the start of a pandemic. Most of us, none of us had jobs that were deemed necessary and forced to go to work. So for a month, that was what we did. We just sat and played the Dark Souls games, and 100% 2 and 100% 3. It's 14 right there. I should put these in order. So I finally have gotten around to it because it finally went on sale, and I finally had the money for it, since I already own the game 3 times now. Do I have it for PlayStation? I don't know. I definitely have it for PC. That was the original way. I don't think I bought that. I think a friend bought it for me. That was my first introduction to Dark Souls. Anyway, if I keep talking about it, I'm just going to tell literally the entire point of a capitalism hoe about it. So I need to not do that. Oh, that's a different symbol. I haven't seen that. Spire Golem. What is this one? Since it's here and we came to a pausing point, now I'm curious. Let's look. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, it's not kind of too intricate. I'm guessing it's older instead of newer. Hey, I have internet. Can you load the icons, please? That's really important for me to see here. Wikipedia. Wikipedia, why? Maybe it's not older. I would have thought. Well, that's annoying. It's through 2008, so maybe it was. The copyright is through 2008, and I think that's usually what they do, right? If it's 1993 to 2008, then that means it would have come out in 2008. Let's scroll back to that area and see if... No, it doesn't quite match any of those. All right, well, I don't know what this one is, and I don't know why the icons won't load now. It only has like half of them, and then it just stopped. I have the internet. Don't tell me I need to find another resource for this. I didn't want to do that. I thought just going on Wikipedia would have all the answers that I needed in a nice, easy format. But I was wrong. So anyway, those are the games that I've been playing, and then all of that comes to a halt. I'll still play Dark... Oh, I'm also playing Aliens Fireteam Elite with that same friend that I beat Dark Souls with, because we often play games together. And that's currently the one that, for a few years now, we've gone back and forth with, like, do you own this game? No, you do now. And we buy a game for each other, and that's how we kind of bribe the other person into playing with us. And so he bought me a copy of Aliens Fireteam Elite, which I'd played before while it was on Game Pass, but it is no longer on Game Pass. So he bought me a copy of it because he really wants to play it, and he wants to 100% and get all the achievements, which requires us to play through it on the very difficult levels, which I am not good enough for yet, but we are working on it. Going through the campaign currently on the second difficulty, intense. And last night, after I watched the movie and everything, we did a couple rounds, and I finally felt like I was getting it. put in plenty of times that we will have almost beaten the campaign twice, but it can very well be endless. It's really fun. I really enjoy. This is 15. I started putting a 15 pile. I don't think I have. And just like we went through, usually what happens is we're just talking while we're playing, and then I'm left going, what do I do here now? Because I haven't been paying attention since we are just talking while playing. But we were doing that last night, and I wasn't dying a lot, or getting close to dying. So I think I may have, for the first time, finally caught a little bit of experience in the game and started to, it's kind of clicking what I need to do to play. And also I've got a maxed out level character now, so I have to do a little bit more work in order to unlock some stuff on another one, but yeah, here we go. That's a big chunk of, I recognize that icon as Theros, which was one of the sets that we really went in on. So anyway, let's see. I worked on this table the other day as well. What I did before, when I got it, was I've talked about a little bit in one of the videos, I think the behind the scenes the tour of this place for my recording setup, which was an impromptu capitalism hoe that I did in place of a normal episode, and then I took a break because I had to move, and so I could not keep up with the schedule that I had of releasing one every week. And as a matter of fact, today being the 4th, I was thinking it would only be one week because I thought I'd get it done, but I finished editing this morning. Like I worked on it yesterday, but I didn't quite finish one up. And I had recorded 6 the week before that I wasn't able to get to any editing during the week. It was a busy week. We've been doing a lot of stuff. I didn't go out this past Saturday because we went and picked up a table and chair. Now we have like a dining area, quote unquote, but it's also what we call it, like a nook. Somebody was sharing it in the Discord, and somebody said it was a nook because I put bookcases up and I unpacked all the Funko Pops, which can't quite all display, but I like the way it looks. I mean, it's not organized yet, so I'm not really ready to show it off too much. I just did a preliminary. Here's a photo, you guys, and shared it in the group, the sibling group. But yeah, I put all the books up in the bookcase, which took up a bookcase, put the table and chairs. That was my entire Saturday. And then yesterday, I mean, we do our usual Sunday mental health check-in, talk, sit down kind of stuff. And so that takes up most of the morning. Then there's groceries. Then that's when I sat down to edit for a little bit. And then I was done and I wanted to cook a nice lunch and then watch a movie and then play games. And it was dinner basically at that point. So I did not get to I did a little editing yesterday morning, but I wasn't able to finish one. I was thinking if I get it done, because I knew I wanted to get back on that weekly deadline, the weekly schedule of releasing them, but I also figured I would take a break for 2 weeks, and then I thought about it and went, well, maybe it'll just be 1 week. No, it's 2. So for 2 weeks in a row, a video will not have come out, and that's fine. It's not what I want, but it is you know, a live. But now I have several backlogged. I got up this morning at 4:45 and I started editing. And then after about 3 hours, I had edited all 6 of those videos. And I edited all the Pokemon ones as best I could. Well, I mean, that's not true. That the point of that was to also just do something that was less work. So I didn't really edit too much of those. I clip in here and there and do some stuff like that, but for the most part, I'm not heavily editing those like I am. Like the most editing goes into, quite honestly, at this point, it's a kind of a tie between the wildlife stuff and then the capitalism hoe videos, since those require a very heavy hand to cut around all of my let's do that again and things like that, which there is a lot of. Not even close to being on camera for quite a while now. This is going quite well. This is the point of the top-down camera, but I didn't want to set this whole thing up. Like I said, these phones at least can record in the 4K that I like to do for standard and these things, and it's easier to edit, and then I'm not trying to cut around or do anything else, and these only do 1080, and also it's way more hassle to turn on all the lights and cameras for this, and then I feel like I have to present if I'm going to do that. I don't really want to sit down and do that for a personal thing if I'm not actually doing things personally. But anyway, I edited all of those. I still have some wildlife to edit, so there is kind of a backlog. I'm going to move some stuff around here and see if I can't put my arms so I sit in the middle where the camera actually can see, since that is the interesting thing for today. I should go back to playing games while I do this too. I've thought about that. Anyway, I worked on the table the other day. That's what I started talking about. As I noticed after recording and going through the first batch and then getting to editing with them, the light was too strong. The table light was too strong. which I thought might be the case because what I did was I just took the guts out of a. I started this a while ago, didn't I? I took the guts out of a TV, an old TV, an LCD TV, took the lights out of it, and then some of the other stuff, and put that and mounted it underside of this table. And then I just used basically the inner screen. The way a TV is comprised, as it turns out, there's an LCD TV. You've got the lights on the inside. That's the bottom layer, I guess, if you're going that way. And then there's like a film, a thin kind of plastic film, and then a harder plastic that's thicker, that's kind of diffusing so that the light evenly spreads. That's your backlight. That's what the light is from. And then you have a panel that light shines through, so you have backlighting for your LCD. That's how it lights up. The panel was cracked on this TV, replaced it, took the lights out, put the lights under here. They were just too bright. No matter what I did, it was too bright. And the best thing I could come up with was to take some photo fabric that I have, which is at least more flame retardant, I want to say. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't think it would be okay to use it in open flame situations or anything like that, so I don't think that's the right way to say it, but it is slightly more heat resistant than normal fabric, so I wasn't too concerned with the heat coming off of the table lights. But the problem is that it looked junky, and I did not, it was a quick fix to try to do that, and so I recorded the videos that way, and then I was just unhappy with them, and it was just too bright. It really is overpowering, and the lights that I have and everything, it doesn't balance out, and it's just too much light coming up from underneath. So then I was trying to figure out what else can I do, how can I solve for that, and I remembered I can get a film like I did before. I put a film on our window, our glass door, so that I could have bird feeders outside and the cat could do what the cat wants to do, which is sit there and stare at the birds. But I don't want the cat to be, I don't want the birds to see the cat, as that will get, they will fight their instinct to then come for food. Now, I know I've seen this symbol. Where is it? I have a, there it is. I don't want the cats to get used. I don't want the birds to get used to be a cat being around when they're trying to eat with that stuff and get used to it, because then they get close. That's how a bird gets killed, because a bird gets too used to. That's one of the ways, but that they get too used to it, and I'm not about that. I don't want the birds to be killed, and I certainly don't want them to get too used to it. So I will do what I can. So basically, what I did was I bought a film, a mirror film to put on. This was back in Wyoming when we had that concern, because we did not have that issue in Fraser, the last place. And here, I need to put the film back up. But anyway, a mirror film. It's just a cheap little $5 thing like that. You get a roll, put it on the film, put it on the outside of the glass, and then it mirrors so that you can see through it. And when you look in, if there's enough sunlight and things like that, you really see a more projected image back. You can kind of see through it, but it's not as bad. It's certainly better. Anyway, they make ones that are frosted as a diffusion, and that's what I currently have on my table. And it's starting to peel at the edges because it doesn't really stick, and I did more than one layer, and it wasn't enough. So I did a bit of I now have, but it's finally to the point where it diffuses the light enough. I wish I could just control it. The downside of not paying money for a proper setup and a proper light table, for one, I don't even know what I would necessarily do to get proper lights. I've thought about that as a replacement, because I typically, the way that I tend to operate is that I get an idea and then I have to talk myself down or talk myself out of that idea to the point where I go, okay, how can I still achieve it though? Because I can't afford. Okay, we're on to different types of cards now. These are all of my artifacts. Well, most of them. Most of them from just the random sets that are here anyway. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Well, it's not really focusing anyway. So that's good. It's a good thing that the plan for this video didn't really come together. But that's fine. What I'm going to do instead is eventually see if I can get a... The problem I have is I looked up, and another lens for the overhead camera would require it to be further away, because the minimum focus distance is like a meter, 3 feet, and That might be 3 feet. But then if I put something taller on, like I would have to switch out. If I basically doing cards that are flat on the surface, I'd put the telephoto on there and then I could zoom in, which should be fine. But also that might only be, I what I really have to find out is that 3 feet across the entire focal length, which I highly doubt. If that were, then even if I zoom in all the way, then I could still get in focus. And typically that's not how that works. Most of the lenses that I've used are not able to do that. So that focal length moves as you like, or your focus distance moves as you telephoto or wide angle, depending on how far you zoom. So I'm concerned about that, and it's also expensive, and I can't really get one used because it's an unused. It's not really one that's super common. They tried making their whole M lens line, Canon did, and not really. But then they abandoned it, so most people don't go in onto it. So as far as I've seen, I haven't been able to see that particular telephoto that I'd like to get used. Um, I would easily buy one used, especially for this. I try to spend as little money on this as possible. But anyway, the film didn't quite work. What I had to do, I put the film on and then I put another layer, which doesn't really work. And it's starting to peel at the edges. I can see it. So what I'm going to do, what I did to kind of right in the middle is a Lego tower. I took some Lego bricks and just stacked them up to the right height and stuck it under there to kind of prop it up between the piece of wood that I had cut and mounted. That's sturdy, so I can definitely put things onto there. I just need to do 4 more of those little Lego towers. I'll probably do that after this video because I'll go digging around, get the Legos, and then prop up each one of the corners so that the film actually stays on because I can see where it's peeling up. But then there's that. Then there is a layer. I'm still using the pieces. Yes, I'm still using the pieces from the TV, but then I've got the photo fabric folded in half, sandwiched between them with all of that. So it's a thin layer, or going from the bottom, it would be the thick layer from the TV, the thin layer. Those are the plastics. One of them is kind of bendy, the other one's a strong plastic, but it's also cracked. Then the photo fabric folded in half, then 2 pieces of the film that's stuck to there. All of that equals enough light that when I have the overhead camera pointing down, it doesn't completely blind out the camera to the point where everything is just harsh white light coming up from the edges, which is nice. That was the goal. It took a little bit more work, and obviously I still need to do a little bit of get the to fix it up, to finalize it. I need to do a little bit more touching up with the Lego bricks, which is my best current how do I fix it today solution. I don't know what I would do in the future. I don't even know what kind of lights I would get because I would want them to diffuse properly so you have even lighting across this whole thing. I probably could do something with like some bar lights, but that would be expensive. The downside, as I was mentioning to the TV, the fact that it is the guts of a TV, but there's no, since the screen was cracked, there's no way to control it. So I just have a power button and it's got an auto off after 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So there have been points, of course, I record for longer than that. So I'll sit here and do that, and then it'll go off, and I'll just sigh, press the button, wait for it to come back on, and then go in. I have to cut that because it's just boring. And sometimes it takes multiple presses because it's kind of an old janky TV setup. So I wondered about if I could fix that by putting an HDMI, like what I might be able to do. I mean, I can't figure out how to control it. Apparently, there's no way that I can easily just hack into the TV, like plug in a USB. It's got all the guts of the TV. It just doesn't have an output at all. So I can't, I could use a remote to control it, but I wouldn't know what I'm controlling. I can't see the menu. And maybe I would be able to look up and watch someone if they've got a video where they're controlling it. I might be able to follow along and just press the buttons in the right order and hope that it works and see if I could set it that way to have basically I want the auto timer to be off entirely. Other than that, maybe I can plug something into it and then it would detect that there's an input. I have a computer. I have a desktop here that I use for all of my notes and stuff when I'm recording. I think I could plug in another, if I could put another HDMI cable, I could plug that into here and then just duplicate the screen. I wouldn't be able to see it or anything, but if it would detect that there's an input, maybe it wouldn't auto shut off on me, which would be useful. And I can't see a situation where I'm sitting here recording. Even doing this stuff here, I don't want to turn on these lights because these will not, it will not look good with this. So I can't think of a situation where I'd sit down to record and need the light from the table and not have notes and things up on my computer. Anyway, Table and chairs, set up all of that stuff. We're finally done with that. Um, I talked about the shows I've been watching. I talked about what else have I been up to? Oh, I'm reading. I'm trying to move back to reading. I don't remember if I talked about the fact that I lost my iPad. I bought a, I think I have. I think I talked about that last time. I bought a first gen iPad from a thrift store just because it was a big chunky one and I needed a cheap extra. It was like 15 or $20 or something like that. And it was really annoying because Apple is garbage and I had to jailbreak it in order to put my own books on there and things like that. But anyway, I eventually got it to work and then I used it for 2 years and now it's just gone. I don't know what happened. I don't know where it could be. I have checked literally everything and we have now unpacked every box. So I no longer have it. I have accepted it is just gone. I must have left it in the previous place, but I don't know where, who, or what, which was the one I used to read at night. So unfortunately, I no longer have that, which is a bummer. I've just been using one of my old phones, which is fine, and it does what I want. It's what I was using for reading anyway, but it's not quite what I was looking for. Excuse me. Let's see. We get all these artifacts together. Where's 11? 14. That's an 11, isn't it? We'll do 10 and 11 and 12. So I started reading again as part of what I've mentioned here and there, depending on what videos you've seen. We set up here in this new place a way to be more responsible and remember what chores we have to get done. We've got a whole thing on the fridge that is our chore chart with some sliding checkoffs, so you know what it is that what you have done and what you haven't done. And that way we don't forget things, and there's a point system associated with it. So you get a certain number of points depending on how difficult the task is or how likely you are to avoid putting it off. It's been working so far because there is a reward if we get enough points. My significant other and I both have this done separately, but if we do that, mine is to open magic cards. Most of them are based around magic cards because I'm really interested in that, but because of finances, I can't go hard on buying brand new magic cards every single week and always have a pack to open. I will buy booster boxes, and then I'll have new ones to open every other week. And then on the off week, assuming I get enough points and I get my first tier, which is the ideal thing, I'll just be opening. I'll be grabbing randoms. I already bought bulk packs of um, uncommons, commons, and then rares. I bought two different sets in bulk uh, from eBay. And then I didn't even look at them and I just took them and I put them in our loot box for random reward. For the weekly rewards, I'll pull those out and start going through, which I'm quite excited about. Most of mine are based around that. But then it's also like, if we're good and we get everything done, we can treat ourselves to a fast food because we want that anyway. But we have to very much limit it to once a month because it's expensive. Boy, is it. A scimitar. I have a scimitar. A scimitar is from Arabian Nights. Oh man, I was talking with my brother about this one. Huh. He has started looking at some of the magic stuff and some of the really early ones. I did not realize I even had one that was that old. This has got to be a reprint. It doesn't look that old at all. Oh yeah, the scimitar's facing the wrong way. Okay, so it's not that. I do have the banner, a flowing banner. This looks old. This makes more sense. A flowing banner comes from Alliances in 1996. It does say 96 on it. Okay, cool, cool. So this might be the oldest because I don't think I have an anvil. Okay. Let's put it so the camera can see. So that might be the oldest artifact I have so far in the box that I've gone through. Let's see, what would be the next one? I think the next one would be a hammer and then the flask. I don't know about these ones that don't have any symbol. So, wait, the hammers. Junk diver. It's like a metallic bird. Metallic. It's like a robot bird. An automaton. Okay, cool. So then the flask. What are these ones that don't have any, but they've got a white border? These have got to be from one of the. What are those? I remember hearing about that. They made some. Hmm, yeah, I don't think these were from. I don't think it's unlimited. I think there was some that were like. Hmm, Control F, white border. Cards in Chronicle were also reprinted with white borders. That's the only thing? Alright, that can't be right. I mean, look, they look old and they say 1995. MTG, white, border, no set symbol. Someone has already Googled it. Black border, no edition. It's alpha beta. Unlimited is white border. Oh, okay, so this is from Unlimited. They must not be worth anything if I manage to pick them out of buying them bulk online. But yeah, out of their expansions, or no, the basic core set, Unlimited, came out in 1993. Set code 2ED. Oh, well, there's nothing on here. Interesting. So theoretically, these would be the oldest then, because these would have been in 95. And then, when was this one? The banner, flowing banner was 96. So maybe these are the oldest. Interesting. Let's see. The palm tree would come next. Palm tree was from Mirage in 96. That comes after the flask. Wait, does it? I scrolled too far. No, that comes before that. That comes after the banner, but before the hammers. There's the banner. There's the palm tree. I've got one other one here that's of these vintage type. This one, which has a crown. Oh, the crown is actually further back than that. The crown is Fallen Empires from 94. So then the crown would go after the white borders before the banner. Cool. Cool. There's that. Next up, any place to put, I guess I'll just put them over here. Then we would have probably nothing for a good while. I really need all of the symbols to load further down though, because they're not loading. And if they don't load, then I can't tell what is what. Let's see if I can find another website real quick. Set icon list. The ultimate list of all magic cards in order. Boy, doesn't this seem like garbage. Yeah, it kind of is. Oh, I am not going. No, you are just clickbait. You have ads, you have pop-ups, and you have 10 per page, and then you want me to go page to page. I need a full list of everything. What about the fandom wiki? A lot of garbage. I mean, it's not probably garbage, but I just need. Okay, you might have all the icons. There we go. Let's see. Not quite as organized as the normal Wikipedia page, but it should work. What was that? Okay, hold on. Mirrodin was that knife that was pointed left. I saw that one. Where did I put that? Right in front of me. Okay, that's Mirrodin, 2003. Do I have any? I don't think I recognize any. Wait, what's that one? Apocalypse? Do I have that? Did I see that one here? No, you're different. Unfortunately, I can't really describe them, and it won't do me any good. Okay. To try, let's see. I don't think it's any. I don't think I see any of you. So Hourglass, that one is different, but it's similar. There's a fire icon. Okay, there. Dual Decks Jace. Oh, Dual Decks Jace versus Chandra. That's what that one is from. Okay, so that one's even entirely different. But I think you're the next one. Do I put the cores? No, I put the cores separately. Let's leave them like that, even though they're listed here. I might be using this website going forward. Zendikar. I have Zendikar. Zendikar's right here. There's my Zendikar. Then Rise of the Eldrazi. I saw that one. That is somewhere here. Then it goes this. It's Rise of the Eldrazi is this symbol. Then, oh, Mirrodin Besieged is this thing here, which we have a bunch of. So I must have gotten some of those at some point. I don't remember having any fat packs for that. So that's kind of how I keep track of all this stuff. Oh, wait, did I jump in line? No, should be that one. Then we start getting into things that I had more of. New Phyrexia. That's funny. I just opened a pack the other day. They have new Phyrexia, and yet I just opened a what I would call new Phyrexia because it's new, but I guess the word new doesn't equal anyway. Let's see, then there's that stuff. Innistrad, I definitely have some of that. I don't think I have any of those ones. Innistrad is I had a whole stack of that right here. Innistrad is this one. That thing. Then Dark Ascension. I saw Dark Ascension. I have that icon right here. That's Dark Ascension. Nope, that's a dual deck. Avacyn Restored. Probably pronouncing that correctly, I'm sure. That's this one. Okay. Return to Ravnica is that kind of. I have that one in here. That's you. Return to Ravnica. Then there's some more Gate Crash. We bought a good bit of Gate Crash. I got Gate Crash here. That goes on. Then Dragon's Maze is here. Start a new pile. Definitely went through some Dragon's Maze. Theros. We went real big onto Theros. I'm guessing. I thought Theros was like the first one, but maybe not. Horn of the Gods. I remember that symbol, and I've got one right here. How do I only have a single artifact from that? Did I not buy a whole lot of those? Maybe not. Journey into Nyx. That's this one here. Also must have fallen off because I don't have a ton of those. And then I know I didn't get anything for a good while after that. So I'd be surprised if Battle for Zendikar. I feel like I bought those, but I don't actually see. I wonder if I missed some of these. Let's see what else we have here. I don't think I collected anything else for a good while. I don't recognize any of these. Now, I know I have some Amonkhet, but I think those are in their own box. What's this one over here? Okay, that's like a helmet thing. I don't think I have any others of these at all. Why? Why are there multiple icons per set for these guild kits? That seems annoying. War of the Spark I have a ton of, but again, that would be in its own box, because by that point I was actually separating them out. Definitely don't think I have anything newer than that. Let's go back. Where did I miss? Where have I missed you? Okay, I got 3 of them to look for here. Well, 4. 4 of them to look through. They're not vintage, so they're not going to be that far back. Let's see. I wonder when the style changed over. That's something I should research. Oh, okay. So yeah, I missed this right here. This one actually was towards the beginning. We have this kind of the icon, which was right after Meriden, which was the blade, the dagger thing. So those actually were quite early for this. Those ones were in 2003. Then okay, right after it. So yeah, I guess I just missed a block of them right there. That was Dark Steel. No, sorry. Meriden was the dagger. Dark Steel is the one I just showed you that I just put in, which was, I don't know how to describe, helmety? No, this is a helmet. Fifth Dawn was definitely a helmet. So then I'm looking for this, which is got like a star symbol in it. There is an awful lot of these that I will probably memorize one day. This was World Wake in 2010. Okay, so the one right before that would have been Zendikar, and I know I have some Zendikar in here. I just have to find where they are. There's Zendikar. So after Zendikar, but before the next one that I would have found. There's Zendikar, World Wake. I don't even remember seeing the name World Wake. And that would have been between, yeah, World Wake came between that and Rise of the Eldrazi, which I remember. Okay. So those are all. Dang it, there's no here. I should grab multiple. World Wake. This is World Wake, and that comes before Rise of the. Yep, okay. These all go in there, and then there's this. Now I still am missing this other icon over here. Scars of Meriden. I just found it as I scrolled down, which for me would come after Rise of the Eldrazi. Which of course I am now going to make a mess. All right, Rise of the Eldrazi was the kind of cross thing that we were just looking at. It's before these. All of these are the already forgotten. There's so much. So much. All right. That's Rise of the Eldrazi. That icon right there. And then that one is the next one, and that one is Mirrodin Besieged in 2011. Before that, we have this big chunk that I have here of Scars in Mirrodin. There we go. And now they are in order. All of you, through all of you. I have my core sets here, and then the really old stuff. And that's an hour, so that's going to do it, I think. Have I talked about everything? I'm pretty sure I did. I hope so. If I forgot, maybe I'll get it next time, but that's kind of everything that's been going on. I have some other ideas and things that I want to put forth into the world. I'm still working on a few things, but that's what I've been able to accomplish so far. I worked on a couple different things here and there. I still have some wildlife stuff to edit, but that won't be today. And then going forward, I'll be playing a lot of Starfield. I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to it. Yep, I think that's everything. At least that's everything I can think of. So that's gonna have to do it then. That's the personal vlog. That's what we've been doing. That's what we're up to. Maybe we'll get back into regularly doing these because it's kind of been very far apart and sparse. Um, maybe I'll play games again while I'm doing that. That would be something. Yeah, yeah. Now I gotta edit this. Thankfully, it will be nice and easy. I'll just throw the two audio, sync them up with the audio, crop this one small, even though you couldn't see most of the cards most of the time because I was not paying attention or looking at it. Okay, bye.